Welcome back to the LoZ OoT3HC. When last we left off, we finished off the Spirit Temple, killing the Twin Rova and freeing Naburu the Sage. Now all that's left is the Temple of Time, and there's going to be a cutscene that happens. So let's just unceremoniously play the ocarina. Head on over there and we will see what is in store for us. I'll give you 3 guesses at who is waiting there for us. Probably got it on the first guess. Mr. Tight-Ass himself. I like how he's referring to us as the hero of time now. Interesting wording in this whole entire cutscene, I feel like. The showdown with Ganondorf, King of Evil, next Saturday on Kids WB. And of course he has to give us another pointless telling of stuff we already know. And I can't skip through this. Excellent. And just... I really gotta wonder why they have so many of these cutscenes, and why, after the game realizes that I've played through this many times before, it won't give me the option to skip it. I mean, again, it makes sense having these cutscenes in for people who don't know the entire story and who are playing the game for the first time, but this is just getting kind of out of hand. Didn't they just say that part? Or it's made up of 3 parts, and then it'll split into 3 parts, and it stated it in pretty much the exact same formatting of the paragraph. I mean, maybe this is nitpicking, but look, they've been focusing on the same angle of the Triforce for the last minute, almost. Maybe not an entire minute, but feels like hours. And those voices, obviously synthesized, still sound weird to me. Gee, it's as if Ganondorf's heart was impure. Now, like, every single person who ever saw him thought that. That was Triforce of Power, by the way, the red text. Have I been missing it? I haven't really just been paying attention, just clicking A. Those chosen by destiny. Triforce of Courage. Gee, that was a big sticker shock. It was Link the whole time! And I never particularly cared for that part of Sheik's dialogue. He describes a 7th sage who holds the Triforce of Wisdom, and very obviously, there she is. Good old Princess Zelda. How could she say that she's a 7th sage, though? That seems like kind of a cop-out to me, but... Remember what she just said for later. It was necessary to hide from the King of Evil. And right now you're in the Temple of Time, where the quote-unquote King of Evil got his evil power, and you don't think he can see you at all? I mean, he probably set up some kind of, like, way to see it. And yeah, thanks for showing me this cutscene again. I already knew it. I've seen this twice now. And then you just were in disguise to fairly hide from him, and now you're not in disguise anymore. Think about that. And she's still talking! I get it, okay? Yes, Thank you for telling me things that I know happened to me. Seriously. This is a bit ridiculous, but just a little bit. I don't even know what to say to this part. I mean, it's kind of boring, and Zelda looks funny. I mean, this was the first polygonal rendering of her, and it is very interesting to see, you know. Especially when you can compare it to how she is now. Like, obviously the design would be much more sleek, but her hair went from being very obviously blonde right here to being a darker brown sort of color. That was Arrow of Light, by the way. And here it is! The one and only elemental arrow we can have in the entire game. Because it's entirely necessary. And it really is. So gee, you sure did reveal yourself out in the open. And now... Yep. The hell do you mean it can't be? It very obviously can be. And why is Zelda a foolish traitor? I mean, she never would have sided with him in the first place. If anything, he's the traitor, because he swore his allegiance to the king of Hyrule, and then he went and stabbed his back on everybody. Yeah, good attempt there, Link. That obviously was gonna help. That always amazes me, too. It's like... Okay, the entire point of your entire quest is being taken away from you right now. You must stop the magic aura. Slap. I don't get it. The laugh is still pretty cool, though. So yeah, you heard what he said. We are off on one final temple adventure. It's not quite a temple, but it might as well be, honestly. The last time I ever get to not care about the Redeads, I continue to not care. Gee, things surely look different. I thought I'd been in here before. For that cutscene. Hey, look! It's totally Ganon's castle. Good to see you again, old friend. Castles can't be friends. I prefer, personally, to look like the hero of time in finally defeating Ganon, even though red is still my favorite color. Before we go in, though, take a look at our surroundings. Because it is pretty desolate, it's a good atmosphere to get us into the castle, at least. And that may be the last Skulltula in the game. I don't remember if there are any inside the castle. I remember how we came to this spot last time and there was a fairy? Well, Great Fairy, rather? Well, guess what could possibly be behind this thing that it says grab, but we can't? I'll let you figure that out on your own, because we're not going to come back here. And, yeah, I guess we can head on into the castle. There's nothing for us here now. So, okay, let's just go into the castle. Oh, thanks, Rauru. You're doing your best, I can see. The whole time this game happens, I don't get exactly what the sages do. 6 evil barriers. I get that they kind of maintain a certain power level, but it's relatively pointless if all they do is stuff like this. Rainbow Bridge is pretty cool, I guess, though. Rainbow Road, Rainbow Ride. double rainbow, oh my god, no way. It's so beautiful. We'll never get tired of that video. So here we are, inside Ganon's castle. Which is odd, because when we were outside, it didn't specify that it was outside Ganon's castle, but whatever. I've been contemplating, now that I have the shield that I have to use, whether or not I'll continue to use it. It's just become instinctual to not have it. Anyway, so the whole, you could say, gimmick of inside Ganon's castle is that you have to defeat, like Rauru said, 6 evil barriers, which, great success there, which symbolize basically the 6 sages. So this is the one for the Spirit Temple. It doesn't really matter which order you go in. Wow, I'm just sucking at this right now. Okay, come on. Look at this. Okay, that did nothing. At least I can grab that heart over there. Some are more difficult than others. This one is not so bad. You will need arrows, though. Or at least Din's Fire. You will need a couple of these. So the first thing we have to do is get rid of these slugmas here. And the only reason I call them that is because I don't remember what they're actually called. That was dumb. And then we've got an interesting little thing to do here. First thing we need is a traveling explosive. That should get all the way... have to be pretty much precise here. Just inch a couple little inches over. Okay. Voila! There you have it. And, just to make that happen, in case you don't have any bomb chews, you know, don't fret, because they give them to you. Yeah, and they give you a 20. Think that's enough? Unless you just completely miss every single time, which I guess could happen. Here is where you very obviously would need the light to come down. How can the light be blocked by a spider web? It doesn't make sense to me. Nothing a little Din's Fire can't handle, right? Evidently not. An alternative would be the fire arrows. Well, clearly the light arrows don't do anything. I don't know why it would. It's bizarre. One of these should work. I mean, they never say that you need the fire arrows, really, for anything vital to the gameplay. So... think about this for a second. Maybe if I can cause a bomb chew to explode. Okay, I held on to that one too long. We'll try again. It should reach, right? Okay, I guess it didn't. I'm surprised that Din's Fire didn't work. Maybe the sun faces only can use some light from light arrows? Guess not. There's nothing here that would, like, there's no switch. I don't remember you needing fire arrows for this part. Din's Fire's gotta work, doesn't it? Okay, you know what? Before I waste any more magic, let's just go ahead and try a different room. We'll come back to this one. I'll figure out what to do off screen, and then we'll actually do it. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, ignoring that first colossal failure, let's head on to another room. Once again, there's this giant block that we can't lift, even though it says grab. But we have silver gauntlets. Could that possibly mean we need stronger than silver? Well, we'll think about that later. Totally not going to go in there yet. Fire room is just horrible. Shadow, on the other hand, should be doable. I don't remember anything terrible about this. Regular arrows. Lens of truth. I should be able to see something, right? There's a chest over there. I see what I need to do. Just a little bit like a Dissa. What's my prize? What's my prize? Well, fuck you in the asshole, too. I'm so tired of chests with blue rubies in them. Kill that thing. It's freaking me out. Ha! Nothing to it. Why is there... there's something that you need the Lens of Truth for, isn't there? Maybe it comes later, but this is the Shadow Temple room. You'd think you'd need the Lens of Truth. Okay, I'm starting to get worried here. There's a... Okay, I can do that. I don't know what happens when I light that up. There's nothing over there for me to hookshot onto. Fuck likes. Okay. Guess can't do this room either. Wow, I am 0 for 2. Technically 0 for 4, but I didn't try 2 others. Alright. Water temple room. This is doable, right? Well, it's a room involving blue fire, so get your 1 bottle ready. You won't really need more than 1. From what I remember, this room doesn't have too many things that you need the blue fire for necessarily. Just that 1 thing there, and... You know, I guess I deserved that. When it comes to chests, especially later in the game, always be sure that you're careful. Because they could somehow spew cold breath at you. And it looks like that door's locked. I have to kill these guys? Evidently so. Don't want to try that other chest. A little bit low on health. Ah, now here's a fun thing to do. Sort of a puzzle. Let's see. Looks like the appropriate course of action actually inquires some more blue fire. I don't know what that was, actually. Oh, good to see the stalactites regenerate themselves. The room must be so cold that any water that drops immediately freezes. Wonder if I let Link stand in here long enough, he'll start sneezing again. What's the... Looks like... Okay. Not the most terribly complex of pushing blocks along floors of ice puzzles. Yeah, it's an oddly worded sentence, but, you know. And, what's in here? Ah, screw fairies. Who needs them? I sure don't. I mean, I totally do, but I totally can't have them, that is. Okay, now that we're here... I see a switch that looks possibly pretty rusty. All it needs is a big pounding. Bam! Love doing that. I love the Megaton Hammer. It's one of my favorite Zelda items. Now, in this room... Okay, we need arrows. And that seriously didn't give us arrows. Alright, game. What the fuck is up with that? You gave us magic, and yeah, we need it. But we also need arrows, and you gave us none! I don't know why, but for whatever reason in these rooms you need to shoot light arrows at the centers, the nucleus, if you will. And there's nothing else you can do to it. You can't hit it, you can't get close to it, and there's no other way to get arrows other than the 2 jars immediately when you enter the room. There's nothing else. Absolutely nothing. Ugh, this is bullshit right here. Guess I'm gonna just leave now. Can you change and possibly give me arrows so I don't have to backtrack? Alright, fuck you anyway. Of course, it wouldn't... This wouldn't be a problem if I hadn't wasted arrows before. So we're 0 for 5 right now, and I don't really feel like making it 0 for 6. Knowing me, the forest temple room is probably going to be pretty terrible too. So, at least I've shown most of the temples. Temple rooms, rather. I'm going to do a little bit of off-screening. Safe before I do. And I'm going to figure out what I have to do. And when we see each other next, I will have all that stuff done. So, see you all then.